Hi guys, I want to talk to you today about our next really exciting unit we're going to do in science on the 3 states of matter. What is matter? Well, matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. Mass is the stuff inside an object, right? So anything you can see or even not see is matter. Something like your table or the water in your fish tank or the air in your balloon. Those things are all matter. Okay, so let's talk about the 3 different states of matter. One is a solid, a liquid, and a gas. So before we read what those actually are, brainstorm for a minute. Can you think of something that's a solid? Well, a book is a solid. Your table is a solid. A cup that you drink out of is a solid. Okay, your toys are solid. Okay, what about a liquid? What is something that's a liquid? Your juice, a glass of milk, the milk in your glass, the water in your fish tank, the water in the oceans or the rivers or the lakes, the water that comes out of your faucet. Those are liquids. Okay, and what is gas? Well, we use gases to fill up the space in bubbles or in a balloon, right? And we breathe air. If you put your hand in front of your mouth and blow, you can feel it. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Okay, air is a gas. All right, so now that we know what the 3 states of matter are, let's listen to a little poem about each one and talk about each one a little bit more closely. We'll start with solids. A solid is a solid. It doesn't change shape. It can't move around. It stays in one place. Your desk is a solid, and so is your chair. Just look in your classroom. Wow, they're everywhere. Okay. And if we look at the particles for a solid, the particles are inside that little beaker. You'll see that the particles in a solid are very close together. They're touching, and they do not move. They stay in one place. A solid does not change its shape. It is what it is, and no matter what you do, it won't change its shape for you, like a liquid or a gas will. Okay, and when we talk about those, you'll see what we mean a little bit more closely. So that's a solid. Particles are close together, doesn't change shape. Okay, let's talk about a liquid. A liquid moves smoothly. We say that it flows from one place to another. How quickly it goes. We know that most liquids are easy to see with no shape of their own. They're not like you and me. Okay, liquids do change their shape. If you think about it, if you take a vase and fill it with water, it becomes the same shape as the vase. It becomes the shape of whatever container it's in. So a liquid, if we look at those particles, they are pretty close together, but there's a space in between them and they move around. They take the shape of the container that they're in, but they do not change their volume. Okay. 3 ounces of water is still 3 ounces of water, no matter what container you put it in. That's what that's trying to tell you. And the particles of liquid have space in between them, not a lot, but a little, and they move together. Liquid moves. If you put water in a glass and you move it, it moves with you, doesn't it? So that's liquid. Okay, let's talk about a gas. Air is a gas. We can't see it, that's true, but often we feel it in things that we do. It keeps up a kite, air fills up a bubble. Without it to breathe, we'd be in big trouble. And if we look at the particles for a gas, they're super far apart. Particles are far apart and move around a lot, spread apart and can change volume to fill in a container. So the difference between a liquid and a gas is that liquids do not change their volume, but gases do. So that is what a solid, a liquid, and a gas are. And I have a bunch of experiments for us to do in the next 2 weeks to learn a little bit more about solids, liquids, and gases and what they can do. So let's talk a little bit about your activity that you need to do before the first experiment. So inside your States of Matter Science Journal is an activity that looks like this. Okay, it's just to help you get a little bit more familiar with the difference between a solid, a liquid, and a gas, to give you some practice identifying them. So I already did the tricky part I folded it for you and got it ready for you. You will see that this top part flap opens up. You're going to need to take scissors and cut on the dotted line just on this top flap so that each window will open on its own. You need to color the pictures on the cover. Write your name at the bottom. States of matter book by, and write your name. Color the picture of the tea kettle with the steam coming out of it. That's the gas. The water coming out of the faucet is the liquid. And the solid are the ice cubes. Okay, so what you need to do is cut the windows apart, because when you open the flaps, there is a space for you to draw what the particles look like for a gas. And we just talked about that. The particles for a gas are what? Close together or far apart? Very good. They are very far apart. So you're going to draw the particles for a gas and then find 4 pictures in this paper that represent a gas. Can you find one? Not the tea kettle that was on the cover. Very good. Okay, so you're going to cut those 4 pictures out that represent a gas and glue them in this 4 square grid underneath gas. Then you can do the liquid. Particles for a liquid are a little bit closer together. There's still a little space in between them. And then you're going to need to find 4 pictures that represent a liquid. And the same thing for a solid. In a solid, the particles are so close together that they're all touching. So draw those and then find 4 pictures that represent a solid and glue them in that 4 square. Okay, and when you're done with that, you'll be ready to start our first experiment. Our first experiment will be live on Zoom on Thursday. Okay, so that's the mystery balloon activity. Please make sure that you get your journal ready, color the cover, write your name at the bottom, and make sure you please bring it with you to our first Zoom meeting for our first experiment with our Zoom meeting on Thursday. And bring it with you. Be ready for fun. I hope you're excited about this. I have a lot of exciting things for us to do. One more thing. At the end of your science journal, there's an experiment, an ice excavation experiment. I included that in there for you because it's not something that we can do remotely. If we were in school, I would have done it and had it prepared for you to do in the classroom. But I thought it was kind of a neat activity to do. So if you want to do that one with your families, I put the teacher directions in there as well as the observation sheet for you. So you can do that one at home with your family. Here, I can even grab it and show it to you. There's the ice excavation observation sheet and the ice excavation directions. There we go. This one is really neat. It's a really cool experiment, but like I said, it's not one we can do from far away. But if you want to do that one with your families, that would be super cool. Please take pictures and send them to me on Remind so I can share them with the group. Okay? All right, guys, I hope you're excited. I am too. 3 states of matter. Tune in. We have a lot of fun things to do, a lot of experiments to do. I hope you bring your enthusiasm and your smart sciencey brains to class with you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.